conspiracy theory that some evangelicals seize on is that the vaccine is what they call the mark of the beast. It's a reference to the book of Revelations, where a terrible beast blasphemes God and deceives the inhabitants of the earth. Another baseless claim is that the vaccine is actually a ruse for implanting microchips in Americans.
Question: since when did news reporters become experts on interpreting scripture? And why should anyone trust her biblical exegesis on the book of Revelation and what the mark of the beast is or isn't? By her definition, the mark of the beast is explained as, quote, a reference to the book of Revelation, where a terrible beast blasphemes God and deceives the inhabitants of the earth. This is a lie. The book of Revelation clearly delineates what the mark of the beast is in Revelation 13:16 through 18, which declares, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast and the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Israel, which leads the world in the vaccination of its citizens, with 50% of its population already fully vaccinated and 60% having had their first dose, has planned ways to maneuver the population into getting vaccinated through freedom of movement.
Jason, what the mark of the beast is going on?
You can now pay for your groceries with the wave of a hand.
13 days of satanic ritual human sacrifice, which spanned from April 19th to May 1st, culminating with the observance of Walpurgis Night on April 30th, the witches' grand Sabbath of the year, and May Day, or Beltane, on May 1st.
Obviously, Makata is one of the great adepts, perhaps even an ipsissimus.
A what?
An ipsissimus, a master of the highest grade. Simon is in his hands, and he is about to be baptized into the service of evil.
And when does this take place?
Baptism must take place on a true Sabbath, with at least one coven of 13 believers present. After tonight, I can't believe that they would dare to hold another meeting unless...
What is it, Nicholas?
You realize what today's date is, right?
April the 29th, why?
Makata isn't going to miss the chance of giving Simon his devil's baptism at the grand Sabbath of the year.
What are you talking about?
Tomorrow night, the eve of May Day.
The reference to the 13 days of human sacrifice, as well as the number 13 and the numbers 44 and 84, have been a constant in recent satanic human blood sacrifice rituals and killings. Remember, on April 8th, former 49ers player Philip Adams killed 5 people, including 2 children, and then killed himself. April 8th gives us 4-8, which, when reversed, is 8-4, a reference to Obama. He played for the 49ers, and 4 plus 9 is 13. April 9th was also the death of Prince Philip and DMX, who was part of the Rough Riders and wore the number 88, a reference to the phrase, Heil Hitler. As we know, Hitler was born on April 20th, the second day of the 13 days of human sacrifice. He was also a type of Antichrist who murdered millions. April 9th was also Lil Nas X's birthday, who in a recent video showed his affinity for Satan. This video is called Montero, which means mountain or hill. Please make a note of this, as we'll come back to it later in the video. It should be noted that Lil Nas X released his Satan shoes on March 29th with Luke 10:18 written on the side. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. And we know that the phrase lightning from heaven in Hebrew is Barack Obama. March 29th was also the day 13-year-old Adam Toledo was murdered by police in Chicago, which also pointed us to Obama. Interestingly enough, the area code for Toledo, Ohio is 419, a reference to the first day that the COVID-19 vaccine was made available to all Americans 18 years old or older.
May 1st to April 19th,
and the 13 days of ritual sacrifice. The number 18 being a reference to 666, the mark of the beast. Also on April 9th, David Hall Dixon, a Pentagon Force Protection Agency police officer who was off duty at the time, fatally shot and killed 2 black men at his apartment complex. The date, April 9th, connects this shooting with the number 13. The Pentagon is a reference to the pentagram, so we can be sure that this was another satanic sacrifice. Also notice, in this picture of one of the victims who was murdered, in the background is a picture of Barack Obama. On April 11th, or 411, which gives us the number 44, we saw the murder of Daunte Wright by police in Minnesota, connecting him to the Viking or Sixth King. His Chicago hat in the number 44 again points us to Obama. On April 20th, Ma'Khia Bryant was killed by police in Columbus, Ohio, as a reference to the goddess Columbia, the light bearer, Lucifer. It was also connected to the 13 colonies in the New World through Columbus, the Revolutionary War of 1776, and the French Revolution. Interestingly enough, the area code of Columbus is 614, and if you reverse it, it becomes 416. And if you invert the number 6, you get 419, which is Toledo, Ohio's area code, and connects to Adam Toledo's murder in the 13 days of human sacrifice, which began on 4/19.
I'm announcing today that we're moving that date up from May 1st to April 19th nationwide.
Now, on April 21st, we are dealing with yet another satanic ritual sacrifice in the murder of Andrew Brown Jr. in Elizabeth City, North Carolina.